back for another episode. Your boys from the Side Dive Podcast, coming off Cyhawk weekend. Uh, Tim, VJ, Bumpy Johnson, here to give y'all our breakdown of Cyhawk and a little preview of upcoming Iowa State on the road at Ohio. Cyhawks, what it's all about at first, and the bad guys won. 20-13 was the final. Um, I don't know. I don't know what to say. You know what? There was some good. There was some bad. For me, the game was kind of blah. It was a little lackluster for me. Boring at times, but when you have two good defenses and two struggling offenses, you're going to have that. This is Mike Leach was probably rolling over in his grave, watching these two offenses go. Yeah. If you loved offense, you hated this game. If you love defense, you were probably at the edge of your seat because the defense is won the day. Um, let's start with you know what we saw that went wrong, and for me, there was a couple of things. Um, we had 75 plays and managed 2.7 yards per play. If somebody tells me that a team has 75 plays, I expect that you have more than 13 points.
Was it
And
was that really per play, or was that the rushing
no,
yards?
that was 75 yards per play because we only had what, 200 and we had less than 300 yards.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, they won the game with 9 first downs. They had 9
Yeah,
first downs. Won the game.
but yeah, I'm like, yeah, how the hell you run 75 plays and you end up with 13 points is just wild to me. That's just wild. And I the clock management at the end, I get why they were doing what they were doing, going extra methodical,
Right.
trying to get that score to bring us into a one score game. I understand it, but at the same time, I don't understand it because you're down two scores, and but I know they felt they had to be deliberate to make sure they at least that they got the score in. So,
Well,
I mean, those are the two things that stood out to me.
I mean, I think if you have a little more experienced offense, they might have hurried it up. But I mean, the way the day was going and everything, just to get any kind of momentum and another drive going, it's to start hurrying it up. You're finally having some success. So, with a young team like that, I think it would have been hard to do any type of hurry up.
But we'll never know. I mean, if you want to win the game, you gotta hurry. You gotta hurry up.
Right,
You
but they
you
still,
you,
but
you
but
gotta
but they
push the envelope there.
but they still put themselves in a chance to win the game. They still had a minute 50 left with the ball to drive the field.
Right, you're right. They did, but all I'm getting at is there's that potential. I mean, I hate the what if scenarios, but had they still been successful and had a sense of urgency during that time frame, because I forgot how much time ran off the clock, 4 minutes or something like that. It was a long drive.
Right.
Maybe they
Oh
could have
no,
had more time. Maybe they
it
could
was
have
a
more time.
it was a 7-minute drive.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah.
they
So
took over with 9:52.
okay,
Yeah.
there you go. So I mean, to me, that sounds like I'm just going to go for a moral victory right here. Don't throw trash at me, but I mean, honestly, you got to get points on the board and you got to get the ball back, and you're going to.
Okay.
That's what you do in the first half. A long sustained.
So you've got a bunch of new players.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I'm just saying I disagree.
You're just saying you roll the dice on that. If the dude throws another pick six,
if you want to win, but if you want to win, that's a chance you have to take. That's like play the odds. The odds state if you're going to sustain a 9-minute drive and you need 2 scores, the odds are not in your favor. And honestly, to use your argument, I mean, I'm sure we can both use arguments against each other, but with a minute and change left and a young squad,
true,
you're gonna have to rush then. So, and there's even more pressure.
Yeah, but they did still put themselves. They still had the opportunity. You know what? Like you said, it was minimized, but it would have been better to have 3.5 minutes as opposed to
I'm with you.
a minute 50. Yeah,
because because the big thing is you're down. You have to maximize your opportunities, and that late in the game to have a 6-minute drive, 6-7 minute drive, it doesn't maximize your opportunity. Because if Iowa gets 1 first down, that's that.
Oh yeah. Oh,
luckily the defense bowed up and went to 3 and out, but they get 1 first down, and that you got no chances.
Right.
True.
And this was 3 days after. I was sitting in the stadium. Yeah, I feel bad for the I apologize to the people that may have been around me, but there may have been some F-bombs about hurrying the F up.
Well, I mean, you weren't the only one.
This is 3 days later, but
right.
And maybe that's after me, hearing, their strategy, in the post game. But yeah, it was different when I was.
I mean, even the announcers were like, "What the fuck?" I mean, nobody understood. I mean, I got it. You're like, I got like you said, young squad. You want to make sure you get the score,
right?
But now that I've got the drives pulled up, and I forgot, but the most shocking thing to me was our last play.
There's been a lot of talk about that, about that Rocco should have kept that on the read option, because he has.
There was about 5 times Rocco should have kept that. Guess what? Iowa was not going at Rocco at all. Every single time they crashed hard on that running back, and he could have been gone. Yeah. And it's like, hey, I'm sorry. I said the same thing about another quarterback who's lighting it up, Sanders. He won't run for nothing. And I thought, Rocco, you've got legs. You're not slow. Granted, you're not lightning fast, but that was a perfect spot. And actually, I pin that more on the coaches, because you're up above, you're watching it, you can run stuff back. At some point, you got to say to him, dude, pay attention to that. They're crashing hard. You got to pull that ball out, keep it, and go. Because you watch the replay, every time they ran that, I'm not even going to call it a read option, because there was no option. That dive up the middle, I mean, they paid him no mind. They acted as though we had a stick figure back there who wasn't going to move, and he could have taken off. Just think, if he had taken off 1 or 2 times earlier in the game, that could free up Norton. Yeah, because now they've got to pay attention, and it's like, if you're running a read option, at some point you got to do the option. You got to keep the ball, and make them think there's a chance he can go. Yeah, but that last play was ass. I didn't even say anything. I think I just sat here with my mouth open, like, huh? That's what
Well,
we did.
that just made me think, because you're talking about how they, if the quarterback's not going to run, there's no reason to do the read option. And now, I don't recall them. I know in the UNI game, they went under center and they went play action. So I don't know why you don't go back to that. Get him on a boot. He's got two choices. He could still give the ball, or you get him on a boot. And he can hit a tight end or hit the edge. For the first down. But do you guys recall them doing? I don't think they did any of that this game. Yeah.
I don't remember any of that. So, I mean,
one of the things I'd bring up though was it reminded me of when I watch team basketball during the season, and then I go and watch these AAU tournaments, how the refs let them play and it gets physical. The D-backs and the receivers were, a lot of hand fighting going on.
Oh yeah, yeah.
A lot of physicality. They let a lot go. Yeah.
Yep. Well, yeah, I know Iowa didn't have a penalty, and I just remember the one pass interference on Iowa State. I don't remember very many, any holding calls. So yeah, I think they were definitely letting them play.
And I was just shocked they didn't have a penalty. I'm like, guess what? No team's that clean. Like no team is that clean. I mean, if everybody literally says,
dude, come on, Kirk Ferentz is.
If everybody literally says there's holding on every play, then there's holding on every goddamn play.
Yeah.
If it's happening, call it. If it's not happening, don't call it. But I mean, it's crazy to me. Something will go to the right, and y'all call something that happened next to out of bounds on the left, but you let other stuff go. But that's a whole nother discussion. But yeah, I don't know. What else went wrong?
Well, I mean, obviously our mistakes were like catastrophic mistakes. You make two mistakes and they're like huge. To me, that was the game right there. I don't, other than those.
I mean, the blocked field goal set it off.
Oh yeah.
Yep. I was disappointed in that Higgins didn't make that catch in the end zone. There was a lot of hand fighting there too. His first one.
Yeah.
You got to get. I mean, maybe it's just because I was. We've been used to watching Hutchinson, but you gotta win that.
I mean,
his name got mentioned.
What's that?
Xavier.
Oh yeah.
His name got mentioned.
We've watched Lazard, Butler, Hutchinson.
Yeah.
We're kind of spoiled out there. The wide receivers making spectacular catches. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, that blocked field goal and obviously the pick six ends up being the turning point of the game.
Because that was right after we got our interception. We turn around and throw it to them for a touchdown.
Yeah, I can't give it back right away. But Beck settled down after that and had a good rest of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, decent rest of the game.
Oh yeah, because we've seen quarterbacks, our quarterbacks in this game totally lose their mind. I mean, Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
Austin or not, they throw that one pick and then it's over. It's like open up the floodgates.
It's snowballing from there.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I mean, anything else wrong?
I think we covered it pretty well.
Well, you can't be negative without being positive.
There you go.
So, what we like out there? I mean, I just stated the bounce back of Beck.
Yep. And I thought he showed a lot of poise throughout the whole game. So yeah, I like that. Obviously, there wasn't that you had two catastrophic mistakes, and it didn't cave the game in, which we've seen stuff like that before.
Yeah. Quarterback.
Yeah.
I thought he did a good job. I mean, before we hit record, William and I were talking about Beck. So yeah, I like it. We definitely found our guy.
And because there were some big drops there too. I mean, obviously you're going.
Yes, there were.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about that now, right?
Nope.
I mean, any praise for the defense?
Well, before we slipped over there, I thought the offensive line did good. I mean, 2 games in a row, no sacks.
Yep. And there wasn't any.
That hasn't happened in a long damn time.
I mean, they were getting the ball out quick, but there were like no hurries or anything,
Right.
So.
That's damn it. We're not focused on the negative, but that is the one. That's the one part of this in general that I am worried about. At some point in time, D-Bat's going to start reading that and jump those quick passes.
Yeah, we got
one thing I'm concerned with.
Well,
anyway,
I mean,
moving down the field.
I think that was more of an Iowa game deal because that's what Iowa gives you. They play their safety so deep. We talked, or that was one of the things I brought up as far as you got to be able to hit those quick outs, and take what they give you. So I think that was more of a plain Iowa deal.
Situational.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought he did it against you and I. The quick passes.
But they got like Raymer for that 36-yard touchdown.
I think they at least took a couple of shots.
Yeah.
Whereas they didn't against Iowa.
Okay.
Right.
Got you. Okay.
Well,
but that lends to the defense as well.
Right. I mean, Iowa's got an All-American cornerback, a 5-star kid at safety, and they're all experienced guys. They had one D-back we could pick on. So.
But
defense praise.
Yeah, I mean, defense did great. I mean,
Gary,
they had 112 yards rushing, 123 yards passing. I mean, that's a pretty good game.
And that was, they had the one big 70-yard run. So, like I said, they only gave up 9 first downs. Gary Vaughn was out, so we had we had young linebackers across the board.
They had 112 yards, 59 of it came on 1 carry.
Yeah.
So they had 28 other rushes for 63 yards. So, or 53 yards. So,
that's
nice.
Mean,
that played extremely well. Yeah, I mean, Iowa's offense was Iowa's offense. We did not. Iowa State did not allow them to get anything off, and yeah, I mean, what can you say about it? I mean, they got in there. They got a sack. Had 5 tackles for loss. So I mean, they got in there. They didn't let old boy carve them up.
Well, now and when they're
not really been carving anybody up, but
we'll say he can't carve anything.
I mean, he ain't got the receivers to carve anybody up, but
oh man.
Well,
that they when they had to give us a chance to win, they did what they had to do. They got the 3 and out, got our offense back on the field. So
because shit, I mean, they got the at the end of their second half, it was punt, field goal, punt, and then the end of the game. So that was Iowa's offense.
Wow.
Yeah.
They had 86 yards in the second half. So, they had their and 60 of that came on the drive that got them the field goal. So, Iowa State's defense really came to play in that second half. And granted, we know not playing a big explosive offense, but yet and still, Iowa's always been able to run the ball. That's one thing they were able to do. And aside from that big play, they weren't. So, shout out to that Cyclone defense. Bright spot in the game. Big bright spot in the game.
I thought the safeties did a hell of a job on their tight ends too. Well, yeah, we'll probably. So as a coach, Vernon, you got, like at Iowa State, they got trust the process plastered all over. So when I was watching this game or after this game, I'm like, two things. There was a lot of talk about how Rhodes, McCarney, even Chiswick, had way more success, than Campbell has. And Campbell's, like obviously won a lot more games, has a better winning percentage than those guys. So, and like there was talk about how those guys would, their game plan, they would go all out. We're going to do whatever we have to do to win this game. So what I saw in the game this year was with all of our young guys, the whole trust the process thing plastered around everywhere. To me, this was a trust the process game. We're gonna try to keep getting installed what we want to install. Do it the way we want to do it, no matter who we're playing. So that's what I took out of this game. And do you think that's a better, especially in a rivalry game? Do you go long haul for the season, or do you sell out for this game? Maybe losing some traction on what you're trying to install. How would you go about that?
If you have the security to do it your way, you do it your way. So if it is a long picture approach, trust the process,
Yep.
By all means do it. But I mean, if he was on the hot seat, I don't know
Right.
that he's he's
But
not on
he's
the hot
not.
seat.
Yeah.
He's adored by fans, respected by the community as well as his peers. So yeah, he can afford to do what he did this past weekend. And I mean, I think it works for him.
Do you appreciate that?
I do, because I think in the long run, I mean, well, predicting the future, yes, if Iowa State continues to grow and progress and his strategy works, hell yeah,
Yep.
I appreciate
Yep.
it. I won't be talking much about this Iowa game if they're
right.
eligible, or hell,
Right.
even if they have a tremendous year next year, I will barely reflect back on this year.
Right.
If there's growth. So yeah.
What do you think, William?
I mean, like BJ said, when you got a long rope, you can do whatever the hell you want. I mean, you can jump rope, you can practice your lassoing, you can do whatever you want while you got that long rope. Now, as it gets shorter, I mean, guess what? Keep having losing seasons. That rope it's not going to be as long.
Right.
But he's built up enough goodwill. He can afford to do things, his way. So, I mean, you can do it your way, the way you want to, until it's time to not do that. Right now, there's no sense of urgency. There's a sense of urgency. Yeah, everybody wants to win, but it's not. You're not like say, oh boy, West Virginia.
Right.
You know, he has to win this year. Well, he's gonna be out of there because there are people who wanted him out of there after last year. So, you know, he can't necessarily do it his way. He got to do it whatever way he's got to do to win. Matt Campbell could have a losing season this year, and he's gonna go home and sleep as well as he can after every game. But he's gonna be back next year unless he chooses to leave. So, you know, he ain't like he said, he's not on the hot seat, so he ain't got nothing to worry about right now.
Yeah, and I also, adding on to what William said, I look at it this way. From a fan's perspective, do I want to win every game? Sure, I do. So I'm looking for immediate gratification. From a booster's perspective, I'm investing some money in this, and I want a return on that investment. And that return is eventual wins. I've got a time frame in my mind. If it doesn't happen, the next step is AD.
Okay, but the way I look at this is so Iowa, they think like their bottom is 10 wins this year, and I didn't see a physical mismatch. I didn't see a talent mismatch. You know,
right.
So to me, and there was still a chance to win that game. They just made 2 huge mistakes. So that's why you stay the course. You know.
I'll be honest. I hope one day we are so fanatical, we are so disillusioned that we truly believe, whether we have a shitty team or not, that we are going to have a 10-win season. We are going to be for the championship. I mean, eventually, that would be freaking awesome. That would be freaking awesome. That would be awesome. And maybe the Campbell's the guy to get us to that spot.
Yes. I think there might have been some shots fired there.
Hey, I want a false sense of security, of reality here on this one. So yes.
Well, no, it sounds like some fans we may know that wear different colors of shirts than we do.
True.
Oh shit.
To the east and west, probably.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, that was my question. Yeah, because all I know is, except for last year, well, even last year, they were still competitive in every game. And there's been a lot of times when we beat Iowa, and by the end of October and November, it's the season's done, gone. So yeah, I don't have a problem that he's not selling out to win this game.
I trust his process. Yes.
Oh shoot.
Well, let's count it up. VJ almost had the score identical, just with the wrong team winning. He had 20-14.
I had
17-12 for the Clones. And Pipes, you had it 15-13 for the Hawks.
Yeah.
So you got it right, and we got it wrong.
Sorry. I was hoping I'd be checked.
It is what it is. Yeah. You didn't veer from your preseason pitch. Yeah, pay it off.
Yeah. I was last year I picked us to lose, we won, so there might have been something into that too.
Nice.
I'm not gonna say, but it just may have.
Are we doing players of the game on a loss?
No highlight. Okay. No highlight.
Okay. Yeah, you get no highlight for a loss.
No fruit.
Right now, Jeremiah Cooper is the only person getting the highlight.
We don't. Damn. Yeah, we don't just give that stuff away.
And quite frankly, he probably would have gotten it again. He had 8 tackles.
Yeah, he's balling out.
He's put some hits on those tight ends too.
Yeah, so he's having himself a season. Well, we have to turn the page, because if this team looks back too long, they're going to lose this week. On the road at Ohio, and as far as I'm concerned, this is an extremely losable game. Extremely losable. And I hope it doesn't happen. What's the spread, Pipes?
2.
Damn.
We're a 2-point favorite.
Oh, now it's up to 3.
Is
I
it?
better make an adjustment in my score then.
With the over-under at 42.5.
42.5?
Yeah.
That's
let's look at Ohio. I mean, everything starts and stops with Curtis Rourke. Now, I know Curtis Rourke due to the fact that I had him in fantasy football 2 seasons ago. So I do know a little about this, man. What I do know about him is he don't turn the ball over much. So
wait. Unlike the UNI quarterback?
Huh?
Unlike the UNI quarterback. The UNI quarterback took chances and turns the ball
Well,
over. This
guy doesn't turn the ball over.
Got you.
I mean, he had he's been the starter for 3 seasons so far, and he's thrown 13 interceptions in those 3 seasons. Last season he had 25 touchdowns and 4 picks.
Didn't he get hurt last year too?
Huh?
Didn't he get hurt last year?
He got hurt this year.
It was this year he got hurt?
Yep, against San Diego State. That's pretty much why they lost.
Okay.
Yeah, he got hurt first half. I think we picked him off last year though.
You're one of the teams that did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did see that somewhere. Yeah. But I mean, he threw for over 3,200 yards last year. He had almost a 70% completion percentage.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. His quarterback rating was 167. So Duke can ball. He's not going to burn you up with his feet. Last week he rushed 6 times for 26 yards. That's probably more taking off.
Yeah. Do they have any kind of running game?
What are they?
I haven't heard anybody talk about that.
Their top back, I ain't going to try to pronounce his name. He's averaging 4 yards a carry, 217 yards on 51 rushes. Now, this is their 4th game.
It's their 4th game. Oh,
they've already played 3 games.
So they had San Diego, Florida Atlantic, or they had
San Diego. They just played Florida Atlantic, and they had Long Island or something.
Okay.
In between, Long Island. They beat Long Island 27-10.
Church of the Nazarene. They beat them.
Pretty much.
Beat them. All right.
And they were down 10-0, and then it was 10-7 at half, and then they down 10-0 and ended up winning 17-10. So they had a slow start, and then I guess you could say, they got it going. But it's probably the two picks that got it going for them. But they were going up against Casey Thompson, and he throws picks. So, I mean, Casey Thompson turns the ball over. It's primarily part of the reason why he's not in Nebraska right now.
I was going to say, you can take the boy in Nebraska, but you can't take the Nebraska out of the boy.
But you know what? They all want him back right now. but I'm not gonna go into that. So yeah, I'm not gonna go into that. So I mean, if Iowa State goes in and does what they're supposed to do, I think it's a win. Because they're not lighting it up on the scoreboard. I mean, they had 13 against San Diego State. You're playing Long Island and you only get 27.
Yeah, that yeah. Well,
And then,
did Work play in that game?
no, Navarro did.
Okay, so that probably had a lot to do with that. But would they get
But
against
still,
Atlantic? Yeah, would they have
you're
against Florida
playing
Atlantic
against you're playing against Long Island. No offense to the Sharks, but you know, I didn't know Long Island had football.
They put up 17
Long
against
Island University. How about I even go, one more? So, you said, did he play against?
No, he played against Florida Atlantic. I was curious, how many points did they have in that game?
17.
17.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Nobody's talking about that around here.
Yeah, so it was they scored what, seven in the second quarter, 3 in the third, and 7 in the fourth. So, I mean, I don't know much about Florida Atlantic. Is it's Tom Herman's team.
Yep.
So, they should have. I mean, Florida Atlantic probably should have won that game. But Rourke's stats were he was 18 of 29, 203, 1 touchdown, 2 picks.
Oh wait, 2 interceptions.
Yeah, they ran for 151. He spreads it out. 8 different dudes caught a pass. Nobody had more than 46 yards was the highest total. Their longest pass was 34 yards. So, but I don't expect them to get if Ohio's beating Iowa State, it's going to have to be on the ground.
Yeah,
I don't think these receivers are going to be beating everybody. I mean, the dude had the most yards. He's a tight end, 6'5", 252. Wide receiver 5'10", 187. I mean, if they let people be physical, he can get bullied around. Another receiver 6'1", and another tight end 6'6", 256. They're gonna have to win the game on the ground. That's as far as I'm concerned, and I don't quite know if they are going to be able to do that. I mean, what do y'all think?
Well, I mean, yeah, I can't see them running on us. How many? I don't think we have to worry about our defense. If they don't prove me wrong, I don't think they will. I think it just comes down to our offense not making mistakes, So, and getting a run game going. See if we can actually do that. So,
No, they have an experienced line. Well, they're old. Their offensive line is older. I don't know how experienced they are, but they're older. They've got. I'm assuming a GR probably means graduate.
Yeah.
And then you got that's on the both of those dudes are on the left side. And then you got a redshirt senior at center, a redshirt senior at right guard, and a redshirt junior at tackle. I mean, they got some big boys: 305, 332, center's 298, 318, and 322. But if they can't move, you know, who
Yep.
who cares? If Iowa State can do that well against Iowa, who's traditionally got a good line, good tight ends, I see no issue unless it's just a letdown against
Yeah.
Ohio's line and tight ends. I mean, they got a 238-pound defensive end. So if he ain't fast,
What are their tackles?
310 and 277.
So yeah. I mean, obviously.
So this team is actually all old. I mean, they don't have anybody who's really. They don't got any. Their running backs is a redshirt sophomore.
Yeah, I mean, last year we beat them down, and they went on and won the MAC. But obviously it was at home, and we're going to their place.
Is it? Yep. And it's homecoming.
Yeah, of course.
We're their homecoming opponent. First of all,
we're the homecoming opponent for a MAC school. Oh, God.
I mean, if I'm Matt Campbell, that's my pregame speech. Like, look, I can say, you can say all you want to. Think back to high school. Who'd you guys have in for homecoming? Well, they specifically chose to move homecoming up into the middle of September, and they made us their homecoming opponent. Now,
and that's weird.
That don't say disrespectful. Nothing does.
And it's weird too because you would think, okay, you got a Big 12 team coming in, that's going to be one of your bigger crowds. So you would think you would save the homecoming game for a different game to get another good crowd. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I find that hella disrespectful. So what has to happen for the Clones to win this game? Well, what if the Clones lose? What happens?
Turnovers.
That's what I was going to say.
Yep. Sloppy turnovers. Catastrophic turnovers.
And that's possible. With youth, those things are possible.
Yep.
I think we're all. I mean, that's pretty much. I think the only thing that's going to cost Iowa State this game, is turnovers. What happens if we win it? Besides not having any turnovers,
establish a ground game. Yep.
Yeah. Damn.
Yep.
The ground game is successful. I hope it is because I'm sure the offensive line and the running backs themselves could use the bolt of confidence.
It'd be good to see some explosive plays,
I'd like to see some shots taken downfield.
Yeah. You can't do that without the threat of the running game, though, right?
This is true. This is true. So, yeah, their corners are 5'9" and 5'8".
Oh wow!
And their safeties are 6 feet and 6'1".
Oh shit!
Tight ends.
Their linebackers are a little on the smaller side as well. 6'1", 239. He's 6 foot 246, 6 foot 220. Easton Dean might have himself a ball game.
Well, dude, did you guys notice they switched DeJean over to covering Bramer in the second half? Yeah. So that's the kind of respect that they have for that kid. So yeah, I think he's one of our
Nebraska.
Yeah, I think he's one of our explosive play guys. From what I've seen, if we have any explosive guys, it'd be Sama, Bramer. I don't know if Higgins could be like explosive, but I can see him where he's if he can get to that point where he's constantly, like you said, they're small D-backs, where he can constantly, you know, he's just taking it from him. He needs to get to that point. Like we said before, that's what we're used to seeing. So it'd be nice to see Jalen Noel kind of get on track too.
All right. Well, there it is. Predictions. I'll start this week since I have. Pipes, you started week 1. VJ, you went week 2, so I'll start week 3. And I am going with.
Wait, what was your original? Did you have us winning or losing?
Oh yeah, all 3 of us had a win.
Okay.
And I am going to stay with said win. And I'm going to have us winning 27-14. And my MVP is going to be Easton Dean.
There you go.
Pipes.
I'm going 22-17. MVP. I'm going to stick with the running backs again. I'm going to go Abu Sama.
All right. EJ.
My original thought was to go 30-12, but I'm going to pull that back and say 24-13. Obviously, Iowa State. And Pipes, maybe we need to go have some drinks because I'm calling out the young Ram as well as player of the game. Former Ram.
I see what you did there.
We do need to go have some drinks.
Ram tough, baby.
There you go. Well, 3 wins predicted by the side-eye calf. Yeah, with nobody was switching their pick unless there was a bus crash, something like that. So there it is. Turn on your TV. Go support them at your local establishment. Pipe, you having a game watch?
Sure. Come on over.
I will not be up. I'm just asking if you're having a game watch.
Come on, man. We're 1-0. We're 1-0 when you're here.
There you go.
There we go.
That's a trend. That's a trend.
Yep.
Yep.
I will not be coming. So.
And when you're here for basketball, we won those. We won at Kansas State on the road. I don't know, man.
Well, I'll be sure to be up for when we play Texas then. if that's the key,
there we go.
I will be up for the Texas game. So yeah. All right. Well, BJ, I know you're already busy. So this portion of Whatcha Cooking will be brought to you from me and Pipes. Our resident chef is occupied. We will get him. I need to do a better job of wrangling him in.
Yep.
For his segment. But for me, I'm trying to be extra healthy.
Oh boy.
These days.
Cheat day.
And that's a whole nother situation, so I won't go into that.
Cheat day.
But I believe I'm going to have something shrimpish. Some type of shrimp.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I've had shrimp in a while. So I think I might have me some kind of shrimp. If not, maybe some fish. 'Cause I haven't had fish in a long time either. I've had
Man,
enough. I'm kind of tired of chicken and beef. I need to change it up, make it a little lighter.
talking about game day, dude.
Yeah, I know, but you know what? I can have something. I can make something spectacular with some catfish or with some shrimp.
There you go. There you go. Okay. Okay.
What about you? Wait, what
Dude,
time
so
is
I,
it?
11. 11. So that was
Oh,
what I'm going to do.
oh, that changes everything.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
never mind. It's
I
got
was
to
at
be breakfast.
Yeah.
I was at Fairway and I found the only reason I got it was $2.50 a pound, so I'm probably gonna regret this. But it jalapeno bacon.
Mm.
So yeah, so I'm gonna do how I send you guys the pictures of the scrambles, with the hash browns and the eggs on cheese and eggs on top and everything. Yeah. So get
So
that
I'll probably do some sort of omelet then.
shrimp omelet. There you go.
Ooh. Oh,
Yep. Saute that stuff up.
that might be the one.
There you go.
That might be the one. So yeah, there'll be pictures up on the Side Dive Facebook page. So get over there. If you haven't gone over there and liked or followed the page, please do so. Help your boys out. Um, yeah, there you have it. Episode whatever. I don't know how many. One of these days I'm gonna go back and count them up. But yeah, go. You know how we get down. Go support your team, please. I need you. This is gonna be a tough game, people. Don't think this is gonna be some kind of damn cakewalk.
Yep.
Hopefully it is. But if they mess around and let these fools stay in the game, it's gonna be trouble. So be ready and go Cyclones.
Go Cyclones.
Go Clones.